Now I have a machine gun. Ho ho ho. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. Today I want to talk about how to mod the Dark Side Galactic Legends. I will also be releasing a Light Side Galactic Legend modding video as well at the same time, so go check that out if you can. And if you want to, if you have a Galactic Legend who is light side and has need of getting better mods and everything, and so should be interesting. Where I actually want to make this video as quickly as possible. We're not talking about how to use these characters so much as just getting the right mods on them, making sure that they are quick and that they're ready for you for if they're going to actually work. So dark side characters, wonderful. There's a little bit of controversy on a couple of them, but I think we can manage it a little bit. And now, one thing I do want to remind you guys, if you want to support the channel for free, all you got to do is hit that thumbs up button or leave a like. Do both of do either leave a like or leave a like, or leave a comment in the comments area, or hit the sub button if you were trying for 10k subs by the end of the year, guys, and I would really appreciate if you helped with that endeavor. It seems like we might be able to do it. We've keep hitting that mark. We just need to do it for another like 20 days, gosh, but we can do it. Maybe I kind of have faith in us. Either way, I think we're at 9k, and that'll be nice. So we'll yeah, that'll be nice. Let's go and talk about mods, shall we? Whoa. Okay. All right. Apparently that's all I had in me this time. Let's talk a little bit about these guys, though. Shall we? First up is probably the most difficult to mod character out there because he wants so many different stats. The rest of them want good stats, but we're going to go in order of characters that were in release order, I guess. So here's the thing about Supreme Leader Kylo, folks. He is best off not as the way you see him here. This is as do as I say, not as I do. Well, it isn't, because here's the thing about Kylo. He's best off when he has a really ruinously fast mod set. The closer to 600 speed, the better for him. And then as much offense and crit damage as you can get. The problem being is then you have to use good mods on him, and those good mods don't really do much for you. Like they just don't really. Like, ideally you put a lot of speed on him, but I don't think that this is how he should typically be modded, because most accounts can't afford the ruinous amount of speed you have to put on him. And so I think the best, like, a consolation prize is lots of offense with lots of health. So let me show you how I've modded him. He's got as much offense as possible. So obviously, we're going for offense primary. I mean, obviously the square is going to have offense primary, but then you want the speed, as much speed as you can, afford. And then, but I have faster speed squares. I wouldn't prioritize him. I just, my mods tend to be a little on the fast side, I guess, compared to most. But then a lot of health secondaries, health percent secondaries specifically. I mean, if you can get tenacity on him too, it's kind of a funny byproduct of the fact that he has like 100 base tenacity. So you could really ramp up his tenacity, actually, if you don't want debuffs on him for some weird reason. Doesn't really matter, but I didn't really try for tenacity. It just happened to be that way. And then you can see the diamond. Once again, you have health secondary if you can. Protection doesn't hurt either, though health is probably the more enduring of the stats because he can regenerate that on his own. And then I have a pretty fast diamond on him. Interesting. I think that just upgraded once, like at the very end, and it surprised me. But one way or another, health set, and then you have a health set and an offense set, obviously. But then let's see, a health. So everything else is, the primaries are health here. So we've got offense, percent offense here, because the percent health is up in the primary. You can't have double of that. And then, I mean, the other ones are nice. Protection, flat health and flat protection. That's fine. And then an offense square. It's not a square. An offense square too, though, guys. But offense cross with speed and then health. Secondaries of health as much as you can. The crit chance is wasted, but what you gonna do? crit damage on the triangle, and then, you know, as much speed, and then because it's crit damage, you can put offense and you can put percent health on here. If you're seeing a theme, all the percent offense and all the percent health possible on him. And then finally, health arrow is probably fine if you can find a fast enough one. This one isn't that fast, actually. It's okay though. It's got health and percent offense at a decent rate and speed. And the thing is, I haven't made him super fast, 508. So a lot of teams are going to be able to be faster than this, but on offense, I mean, very clearly going to be faster than this, but you're not going to miss that much of it. I've tested it against like the Lord Vader comps and everything. It works just fine. You want enough speed to be kind of competitive. You're not necessarily going to go before any Galactic Legends, but you're still going to be able to outspeed everything else. And with all the speed that you're saving, without putting those ruinous mods on him, then you can put extra health, 155k-ish health. I mean, that's probably higher than most people are going to get him, and this is obviously lower than a lot of people can get him. I think that you definitely want to be in the 140 range at the very minimum for health, and then for damage, I have 13k. I don't know. I'd be interested to see what other people can get him too, but those are the stats that I have my Supreme Leader Kylo at, and I think just lots of offense, lots of health, and then some speed if you can find it. Somewhere around 500 speed would be great. Next up is going to be Sith Eternal Emperor. He is super easy. Now, you just put 3 health sets on him with all health secondaries or all health primaries and then health secondaries as much as you can as well. You can see I have the 5.7% health, 5.23% health, and then the rest of them are just health mods with as much speed as you can get. Some protection is nice as well on him, but really he just wants to survive, as much survivability as possible. So health on everyone, and at the end of the day, he can be less than 500 speed if you want. You just want him to be around 200k health if you can, as close to it as possible. I realize that if you don't have Relic 8 on him, you're gonna have lower than that for the most part, but those are the 2 stats he wants. Some offense is fine, some potency, whatever you want to do, but the 2 biggest by far are health and speed, and health beats speed by a pretty huge margin. So Sith Eternal Emperor, not too difficult to mod in my opinion, in terms of he's just a simple dude. He just wants health and health and health, because everything he is trying to do revolves around surviving, and having this health pool is going to help you survive against Jedi Master Kenobi teams. It's going to help you survive against Rey Cat teams. In fact, Rey Cat teams really struggle against this super health build, so there is that. And finally, we have Lord Vader himself, and I did remod him finally. He's the guy with some, I wouldn't call it ruinous speed, but you really want a good mix of as much protection as you can, as much damage as you can, and then some speed as well to go with everything. So, I mean, he's got all the protection, percent protection primaries or secondaries that you can get. Then you want it, and like I showed you guys, you want the health set on him and everything, and he's turning protection into his health, and so you want as much protection as you can get, because that's the easier stat to ramp up and everything. So that's why we're doing protection on him. He's also gaining so we have a bunch of protection on this one as well, with some speed on it. And then a protection circle. Everything else is going to be protection for the most part. And then health percent is also really good on him. If you can, obviously some health or some speed. You have protection on the cross as well. And apparently I don't have, it's percent protection. So if you can get defense on him, that's another good, percent defense is another good secondary stat. If you can, you also have the crit damage stuff going on here with a crit damage triangle here, because you want him to be able to do a lot of damage, and he doesn't benefit from having like the most health ever. Like it's nice, it is certainly nice, but you're going to benefit more from having more offense as well. So being able to crit damage, pretty cool stuff. He's ramping his damage, getting some crit damage. That's wonderful. Get some defense or whatever other stats. I mean, I kind of missed on this one. We've got some good speed, and that's cool, but you know, crit damage. I'm not going to complain about this mod, certainly, but if we could roll another couple times and get percent protection on him, that would probably be ideal. Though defense isn't terrible either. Just hope you don't roll that flat offense, because what a yuck stat that is. Now, finally, you want if you can find a really fast protection arrow, that's probably the best. Really fast plus protection. I just don't have it. It doesn't exist on my roster. I haven't cultivated that sort of thing, and so I have to be content with just adding plus protection on the secondary and plus offense. And I mean, that's about it. He's a relatively simple guy as well. Just max out your health and protection as much as you can. You want some speed on him, obviously, just so that he is ramping up and he wants to get to that ult as quick as he can. He wants to get to his third ult, and if he does, that's his win condition, essentially. Third ult with characters still alive, he's good to go. So, you know, just so you can see the numbers I have. He's relic 8 on mine. All of these characters relic 8. But yeah, this has been a kind of a crash course on how to do it, folks. I realized that we could be much more in-depth on all of these characters, but I do think we're going to call it here. So, guys, how do you think we should mod these characters? Let me know what you think in terms of, and don't tell me that Supreme Leader Kylo should always have those speed sets, because I don't think that that's a good modding strategy long term if you have all the other teams. If it's the only team, then yeah, put speed mods on him. But you know, it's a matter of prioritizing, and we don't need to talk more about that. This has been a short video, and I'd like to keep it that way. So guys, thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Zareth prevails.